Wagwan people, me man, Mr. B. And of course, we are rapidly approaching crunch time as far as Jamaica's track and field is concerned as we prepare for the World Championships in Hungary later on this year in August. In fact, the Jamaican trials is just a mere weeks away. And I think it is time that we start to now look at what our prospects are going to be. Now, 2023 was always looking like a transition year as far as Jamaica's track and field is concerned. We have enjoyed an embarrassment of riches, a long period of largely uninterrupted success, but the circumstances now dictating that the guard is going to change as we move to this stage of our track and field development as a country. We saw that change of the guard, just after the 2016 Olympics on the men's side. And we are just about 7 years since, and we're just beginning to see a turn in the graph that is looking like some promises for Jamaica from the men's side. On the women's side, the curve has been a little bit longer, and circumstances, a confluence of these circumstances is now leading to a rapid approach to addressing this guard change from the women's side. And why am I saying that? Let's start at the top. Shelley Ann Fraser-Pryce has been our standard bearer on the women's side of the ledger for a long time, 16 years to be exact. In the history of track and field, no other athlete, to my recollection, has lasted as long as Shelley Ann Fraser-Pryce has. And so, from where I sit, in as much as Shelley doesn't have to face the starter for trials for these World Championships, because as a defending champion, she earns an automatic bye. My expectation of Shelley at these World Championships is not going to be much. In fact, it is my view that anything that we get from Shelley at these World Championships, we should say thanks and just, usher her out of the sport, within a fairly reasonable time. I think she has come to terms with her own longevity and is looking to pack it in, certainly after France in 2024. Will she make it that far is anybody's guess. Her tenacity, though, is without question. Her ability also without question. The fact, though, is that just the nature of the sport, the unforgiving nature of the sport, and the fact that, there have been a lot of younger athletes in the wings, not only in Jamaica, but across the world. And they are all gunning for a place in the sun. And so, my thing is, I'm not writing off Shelley. I don't want anybody to think so. But I don't have much in terms of expectations that, if she medals, she medals. If she does, if she doesn't, is a plus for Jamaica either way. Elaine Thompson-Herah, the double defending Olympic champion. The questions, anybody questioning Elaine Thompson's ability need to get them head examined. But if you raise the question against her performances over the past year to date, then those questions would have merit. It is anybody's guess as to what is happening with Elaine Thompson-Herah. In fact, I saw snippets of some responses from her to, her critics, who apparently Oral Tracy, my contemporary on this YouTube platform, who had raised some questions about her. Now, we saw Elaine and Asafa Powell in an exchange, a combined exchange, a few months ago, where they berated Jamaicans for having the temerity to question them. The fact is, you don't have that luxury. No athlete of Jamaica now have that luxury can tell people what you can or cannot ask or inquire about you. The minute you choose to wear the national colors and represent this country, we, the fans, have a right to ask all kind of questions. And so my question is, what is up with Elaine Thompson here? There's all sorts of rumors being bandied about the place. I don't want to dwell in the land of rumor, but I will say to you that I don't have much in the way of expectation as to Elaine Thompson's performance this year in Jamaica's track and field program. If you know, the trials is going to be the best arbiter. Do I believe that she will be able to make it out of the trials? That is going to be something for us to just wait and see. I'm not confident, um, because on the basis of current performances, it is a big ask that she's going to be able to secure a clear berth on this track team, right? Now, with respect to the new guard, because that is where we are, right? There is, of course, young Brianna Williams. She too has been having her own adjustment problems. It is track and field, and yes, she had a little bit of an injury there, similar to what Shelley had with her knee injury when she went to Kenya, um, and had to pull out of meets. So it's not a good sign when athletes, especially in a competition year, is having injuries this close to the competition. And so, Brianna is still in the adjustment phase. She has been beaten by almost everybody else who just come off and who just get weaned off a breast milk bottle. And so you kind of wonder what kind of expectation you can have of her. Unfortunately, Brianna, apart from she qualified for the last Olympic Games World Championship team, and well, certainly the Olympic Games, and made it as part of the Jamaica's relay team at the Tokyo Olympic Games. So she's a gold medalist, relay gold medalist, but I don't know if that alone is going to be able to carry her. Our legs and the pace at which they move is what is going to be the final arbiter. And again, on the basis of present performances, not very encouraging. What we now have is a plethora of pretenders or waiters in the wings they've been there over the years, and then they've now been joined by a newer crop of youngsters. This is the first time in the history of track and field in Jamaica where so many younger athletes are going professional. There's the Alana Reeds, the Clayton sisters, the Serena Cole, among others. And so what we have now is a whole line of 18, 19-year-olds who have just crossed the threshold into professional athleticism. And so the question is going to be, who is going to join Shericka Jackson? Shericka Jackson is without question in getting into the pink of form. That is undoubtable. She is being groomed by the great Frano and at MVP, and of course Frano has never failed to deliver. There is a talk. I think Oral Tracy again. I mean, Oral Tracy. Big respect to you, sir. But Oral Tracy did make the point about Elaine Thompson and her departure from MVP, and she has issued a rejoinder in writing, where she posted on Twitter that she burned her bridges deliberately. It's unfortunate that an athlete of this caliber allows the comments of the fans to get to her. Those kind of comments are unfortunate. It is, in my opinion, not what I would have as and I can only speak for myself, as expectation of a professional athlete. Part and parcel of the journey that you make as a professional athlete is that the minute you start to be out there competing at this level, you're gonna get criticisms. Oral Tracy does what Oral Tracy normally do, and he gives his opinion, learned and otherwise, but it's his opinion, and we have to respect it. I don't necessarily agree with his views all the time, but he does make some sense, and I certainly share his sentiment that we are curious as to what's happening with the Lane Thompson era. So it's going to be anybody's guess as to who will join Shericka Jackson on the Jamaica's female sprinting team to the World Championships. Will it be any of the youngsters who have just quit school and have, gone into the professional ranks? Alana Reid 10.92 is still a standout from a Jamaican standpoint. She has been running very well over the past couple of months after champs and returning some pretty good times. Nothing. I think she has been running by 11.2, 11.1, those times, but still pretty competitive times for a junior or a junior who is just making it cross the threshold into the professional ranks. The Clayton sisters is anybody's guess. Serena Cole, she has just also announced, and of course there's our contemporary who is now at Louisiana State University. So it is going to be, a pretty dicey period as we go through this transition. I have lived long enough to know that is how track and field work in cycles. As the men start to turn the corner, we see also what has happened with Christopher Taylor. He looks like he's going to be receiving a ban from the athletics fraternity for missing drugs tests. And of course, granted, this comes on the heels of, we see what happened at the Racers Grand Prix over the weekend. We have another Jamaican who ran a good 44 time to win his event. But again, the men's side is still in a building mode. We looking at, I guess, as somebody pointed out, we probably will see the last of Blake if he makes it to this World Championship. The key thing though is that he have to win a space, and I think age has just caught up with Blake. Still the elder statesman are sprinting, but when everybody else are run 9.7 and 9.8, and you struggle just to break into the under 10-second barrier, I'm not gonna hold out much in terms of optimism. But it's gonna be very, very interesting what will constitute Jamaica's team to these World Championships. What is also going to be interesting is how the media, who hasn't really done a good job, because one would have expected that the mainstream media who follow sports in Jamaica would be able to provide more in terms of what's going on with some of these athletes, but that is not forthcoming as well. And so we have a whole heap to learn. We have it from the athlete side, we have it from the support side, and so what happens to Jamaica at the World Championships? It's got to be anybody's guess. Tell me what you think. If you like the video, of course, I'm going to ask you to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribe to the channel so you get more. I try not to I'm not in the business of just trying to fill the portal up with posts. I want to post stuff that makes for interesting discussion. Let me hear see your feedback in the comment section. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, press the button. Respect.